I'm here with you, 'cause I got a few pens to review to see if they are good enough for you. Shiny and brand new, so let out a woo-hoo as we dive right in and look at what we have here today. Some pens that a company called Twowgo, Twowgo, sent me, and maybe we can look at these today and see what we think. The major selling point here is that they are concrete writing tools. Apparently they're supposed to be made of concrete. I think we have a fountain pen here and a ballpoint pen as well. I think I personally like fountain pens a little bit better at this point in my life, but we'll look at both of them. Maybe I can do a drawing. I have my hot chocolate here still though. I'll put it aside so I don't knock it over. Well, all right, let me look at the ballpoint first real quick, okay? We'll see how it is, see what happens with it. They came in contact with me and I was like, yeah, send over the fountain pen. They're like, can we send the ballpoint too? I was like, sure, if you want to. All right, it comes in a snug case. HMM ballpoint, it says. All right. Nice. It's made of, the case here that comes in made of cardboard, but very sturdy. Of course, I don't really use the cases that they ever come in, so it's not a huge, it doesn't matter a lot to me. I don't think this is concrete. I think this maybe is concrete. This one just feels like metal, but it does feel very solid. Has no clip, which is fine with me because I think clips are out. They're on the way out at least, and they should be because a lot of my pens have clips. The only nice thing about a clip is that it keeps pens from rolling around, but if, like this pen, there are a lot of flat faces on it, it's not gonna roll around too much anyways, right? So that's pretty nice. The clip just gets in the way. I never like stick the pen in my pocket anymore. I feel like that's what pen clips were originally intended for when people were doing this sort of thing all the time, putting them in their shirt pockets and inside their jacket pockets or whatever people did in the 60s, you know? Who knows? Let's see here, I have a book to try this out. It works right away. Very good sign here. And I'll tell you, this spring here where you press to pull the tip in and out is very stiff, very sturdy. It has a good response if you're into that sort of thing. And this kind of construction here at the end I have never really seen. It does feel good in my hand. Peter. Hello? I feel like I drew that why weird. My name is Peter. Does anyone else feel like their handwriting is worse when they use ballpoint pens? Do they? Because I kind of like slur everything together and it all gets messy. I mean, I don't really buy ballpoint pens, but if you're into ballpoint pens, it seems okay. It looks good, I think. It looks cool. I like how it looks. Let's look at the fountain pen though. Concrete writing tools, it says. There's a 22 here. Contour series fountain pen. And it says, there's some words here. It says, please avoid dropping or collisions with hard surfaces. Shows how to remove the cap, remove the barrel, how to fill it. Okay. Oh, it's different. It's a nice nib there. I mean, I'm not a nib scientist, but it looks pretty nice. Doesn't it? I feel like I like the overall general construction of it. And the concrete, like I said, it's very smooth. Like when you say concrete, I feel like I generally think of the kind of concrete with like rocks and pebbles in it and stuff, but that has none of that going on here. It's very smooth, and these ridges or steps in it actually, it's a good feeling in my hand, but you don't hang on to that part of it. You hang on to this part here, right? Yeah. The cap seems to be all metal. Obviously it doesn't post at all. It's not the end of the world. You know, and some pens I'm learning kind of work better when you don't post them, but to me, I guess it's just a personal preference thing. Screws on there, I think, yes. On it goes, nice and snug. I think there's a little rubber gasket here, then it screws off. All right, let's try removing the barrel. Oh, there we go. That's actually a nice looking piston filler there. I like that. This is, it's weird, despite this being made out of concrete, it's not the heaviest pen I've held, you know? Not my heaviest pen. I have I guess metal is a lot heavier than concrete. Who knows how that works? I mean, it doesn't smell like a lot, but I guess if concrete was going to smell like anything, this would be it. I'm not sure what to say. Is it bad that I'm skeptical about this? Like, it seems way too... This must be some different kind of concrete than I've ever come into contact with ever before in my life. I mean, obviously you can't feel it or anything, but it's very smooth and I don't know. I don't know what else it would be, though. I don't know. I guess it is. I guess it is concrete. Some kind of concrete that's really good for this, for doing very precise pen castings. I'm not sure. Anyways, let's try to fill it up now. All right, there we go. That's the good stuff. Clean it up. Obviously, this pen also doesn't have a pen clip, but it also won't roll away. Let's see how it works. Oh. Concrete pen. I kind of find myself holding it right here on the border between the concrete and this metal here, but maybe I should choke up onto the metal. It does flex a little bit for people who like flexible things. Pens who do yoga. It did peter out a little bit here along this line when I do it really fast, and I can't tell if that's an ink problem or a nib flow problem. And of course a lot of these nibs, you know, are interchangeable, so if you don't like the nib, swap it out. But the nib seems to be the same brand as the piston it came with. Schmidt, it says. Iridium point. I like it. It's working okay. No feeding or flow problems except for when I draw really, really fast, which I don't really need to do. Even then it works okay. And if you hold on this metal part, it doesn't dig into your hand or anything. All these concrete ridges just rest gently on your hand over here. So let's try some drawing with it. What do you think? It does look pretty cool just sitting there with the cap on like that. Like if you saw this just sitting on someone's desk or in someone's backpack or something, you might not even think it was a pen. You might think it was something else. All right, let's draw. Okay, so just in case you have the burning question of price, let's get it out of the way. The ballpoint pen is $35. Let's see, the actual name of it is HMM Ballpoint. HMM is the brand, and the fountain pen is called 22 Studio Contour Fountain Pen, and it is $130. Okay, I know. You're probably saying, wow, who would pay $130 for pens? But on the other hand, you might be one of the people that's saying, oh, only $130 for pens, because there are also pens out there that are $5,000 or $10,000 or more. Just like when you start getting into any hobby or anything like that, you can always pay more. So you're probably on, I guess most of the people are on the end of the spectrum that like paying $1 or $2 for pens, but there's got to be a couple people out there that have bought a $5,000 pen, and a $130 pen is like a $5 pen to them, or it would be to us, I guess. I don't know. I know it's too confusing. Anyways, I want to touch on this. The rest of the words on that on the concrete pen box. It says. I didn't read this before. It says, utilizing the weight and strength of concrete, along with a design that is contoured for your hand, this fountain pen is perfect for handwriting. First of all, that's arguable. A design that is contoured for my hand? I don't really see what is especially contoured about this pen for my hand, except that it's kind of generally pen-shaped. I'm not sure. And then it goes on to say, while maintaining its strength and form over years of use, the concrete becomes darker and its rigid edges become smoother as it adapts and responds to your hand. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. What I'm not sure of is this just their way of explaining away and turning into a marketing point the way that the pen will wear, that it will become discolored, that the edges will be worn down. Maybe they saw that happening in the test units, and then they're like, how are we going to fix this? And then someone in marketing was a genius and just thought, hey, we'll make it a perk, and we won't charge extra. Or maybe we will. Maybe that's why it's $100 instead of $30, because it gets discolored and the edges wear down. I don't know. Or maybe it's like people often like it when stuff gets worn while they use it, okay? I mean, I kind of like it. To be honest, I kind of like it. Like, people sometimes order special lacquer finishes, like those nitrocellulose finishes on their guitars, just so it'll wear quicker, so it becomes more personalized faster. And to be honest, it kind of appeals to me a little bit with this pen. It's kind of calling out to me a little more to use it more, just to see the way that it will wear, and see what happens as I continue using it. Even after just using it for this one drawing, it has changed in color a little bit just from the oils in my skin. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept. Anyways, what is also interesting, you can look in the description there for links for where to find these, both on the Tuogo website. They're also available on their own websites. I think Tuogo must own these other companies or something, and it must all be tied together somehow. But because look, like I said, there's a nib by Schmidt in the concrete pen, and they have a piston filler by Schmidt in the concrete pen, but also the HMM ballpoint, the refills are made by Schmidt. So it's all kind of tied together somehow, even though they're two pens made by two different companies. I'm not sure. Also, like I said, I don't really use ballpoint pens that much, but that HMM pen kind of makes me want to use ballpoint pens more, like just kind of take that one around. But also I'm afraid to lose it. Also, the downside of this concrete pen is I'm also afraid to take this anywhere. Like, sometimes pens fall out of your pocket. Sometimes pens roll off your desk and fall on the ground, and this says it can shatter and break and stuff. Like, I have had pens before that can shatter and break. My glass pens. And for a while I had good luck, and none of my glass pens broke. But then like 3 of them broke in 1 month, so I'm afraid, None of those glass pens were $130 either. So, and I'd be more afraid to put a glass pen in my pocket. I don't know if I'd put a concrete pen in my pocket. What if you sat down wrong and it got bent in your pocket, and you pulled it out of your pocket one day and it had like a big crack down the middle of it or something? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I guess it's more of a pen you leave at home on your desk. I do like it though. I gotta admit, I like it. Even there's a few different things about it that appeal to me. You know, the novelty, that appeals to me. Just the general aesthetic of it. I mean, I'm holding it right now looking at it. I don't know if I ever would have gotten it if I didn't get it for free. I'll tell you that much. Just because it could be spoiled because I'm used to getting pens for free. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you my feelings and opinions on it. You guys are good at making your own feelings and opinions, so you do you, I'll do me. But it seems pretty cool to me. I don't really have any major complaints about it. I did notice that sometimes once I got really far into the drawing, my middle finger, you know, kind of how I grip the pen, that was kind of resting on the middle ring between, there's a metal ring that kind of juts out just a tiny bit between the concrete part and the metal part of the pen. And that was kind of resting on my middle finger, but it wasn't bothering me too much because I have a pretty big callus on that finger. I think some people call it a writer's bump, but I feel like that might bother people depending on their grip, how they hold pens, and if they have the callus or not. But just something to be aware of is that I mean, it's definitely possible to hold it very comfortably, but some people hold pens very weird. This does have some weird kind of sharp spots on it, but also plenty of smooth spots. So, I don't know. It's definitely a cool pen. Definitely a cool pen. Both of them are. Definitely well designed. I don't know. They're definitely two of the cooler, more different pens I've received in a long time. I don't know what else to say. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for watching. Y'all take it easy, okay? All right. Bye.